Princess Mary's shock, what's wrong with Queen Margrethe? Often the stern and reserved face of the Danish monarchy, Queen Margrethe was really getting into the spirit of her 79th birthday celebrations at the royal castle, Marselisborg. Leading cheers and waving her arms and smiling broadly to well-wishers below, the display seemed to briefly startle her daughter-in-law, Aussie-born Princess Mary, who looked on with apparent bemusement. "It was wonderful to see the Queen having such a jolly time," says an onlooker. "She couldn't stop grinning. It seemed to take Mary by surprise a bit." It's been a period of transition for the Danish monarch. Margarethe's husband, Prince Henrik, passed away last year, aged 83. The longtime couple were married in 1967. With a year passing since his death, Margrethe has retained her public duties. Danish tradition makes it unlikely the royal will abdicate, and she remains devoted to her continuing duties. Happy birthday, Your Highness. Queen Margrethe II is related to Queen Elizabeth II, and they are both celebrating jubilees this year. The Danish Queen has been on the throne for 50 years while our Queen has been reigning for 70 years. They are the only two reigning queens in the world. Queen Margrethe is 82, 14 years Queen Elizabeth's junior, but the moment Queen Elizabeth II became queen had a profound impact on her. The Danish monarch told ITV, Queen Elizabeth was 26 when she became queen. "When I was growing up, I hoped I wouldn't be as young as that when my father died. It made an enormous impression on me. The fact that she was dedicating her life. I understood what that meant. This is for life. That is the whole point of my life. And I know she sees that too." Throughout her own reign, Queen Margrethe II said she had learned much from Queen Elizabeth. She said, "When I was growing up, my mother and father said to me, 'Look at what they do in England,' and I could see that it could be done and it was worthwhile and you could live a very full life with it, even with a heavy schedule and demanding job. Both she and I see it as a dedication, but also a job. When you get to my age, you don't have the emptiness, 'What am I going to do tomorrow?' I know jolly well what I am going to do tomorrow, and the next day, and the following year." When asked what it was about Queen Elizabeth that inspired her, she said, "The way she has faced her duties, the way she has dedicated her life, and she does it with a smile. She has been through many things." Queen Margrethe celebrates her Golden Jubilee this year, Queen Elizabeth marks her Platinum Jubilee. Together, they have reigned for 120 years in a remarkable achievement. For many people living in both the UK and Denmark, they will have known no other monarch, and Queen Margrethe believes that continuity is important. She said, "There are things that don't have to change. Governments change, they should, they must, but the sovereign is there. Everything doesn't have to be different all of the time. You belong to your country. You belong to a whole nation. That is one thing Queen Elizabeth does so beautifully."
Break it day, coming too fast. I ain't ready for what's next. Look in my eyes, tell me what's true. I'm believing too many lies. Run through the night, sleep in the day. Better say goodbye this way. Holding my breath, reaching for a time. Always so scared to leave alone. But with you I carry on, you I carry on, you I carry on.
continuity is important. She said, "There are things that don't have to change. Governments change, they should, they must, but the sovereign is there. Everything doesn't have to be different all of the time. You belong to your country. You belong to a whole nation. That is one thing Queen Elizabeth does so beautifully."